Welcome back to our channel Rise and Shine. Yes, yesterday I told you that today we will see about the last days of Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, Mahatma Gandhi. After independence also he was very not happy. Happy but at the same time sad because we were divided. We had to part with our Pakistan, which was part of India, was separated, and the cause for that was Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Yes, he was the president of the Muslim League. So, because of him, otherwise, all Hindus and Muslims were like brothers and sisters. But when Jinnah, yes, he kept repeating that they wanted a separate constitution, they want a separate nation. So the Britishers, they sowed a seed of poison and giving us independence, they plotted, and so they said that only if we were divided into two nations, they would give us independence, and that the Muslims had to be separated, or else our Congress did not want to separate. They wanted to separate it according to, yes, the constitution should be according to our physical features, geographical, yes, conditions. But finally, Jinnah insisted on dividing it in the religious basis. So it was a compulsory that we had to, because so many people were killed, so many Hindus, so many Muslims were being killed. Everybody felt sad about that. So finally, compulsorily, our Indians had to make the partition. They had to, yes, accept the partition of Pakistan. So let us go into that, children. And so Mahatma Gandhi had to undergo hunger strikes in order to see the people at peace. But in this picture you can see Indira Gandhi, daughter of Nehru, staying with Mahatma. Yes, here Gandhiji is on hunger strike. He was, yes, in bed, not eating. And here you can see them talking about the differences. Gandhiji wanted Hindus and Muslims to live together, but some of, yes, the Muslims had Muslim League and the Hindus had Rashtriya Swayam Sevak, RSS. And so, as they were moderates and extremists, they did not want Gandhi to, yes, the extremists were sad about Gandhi being so favorable to the Muslims also. So in order to do that, they wanted to kill Gandhiji. So they were plotting to kill Gandhi, who was the main obstruction for the Hindu Muslims for being separated. Gandhiji wanted a nation with all of us together. So after all the struggles, even though we got our independence, Gandhi was not happy. Yes, the Hindus and the Muslims were fighting. So finally, they had to accept the partition of India, and only after that the Britishers gave us independence. But after that, there were many issues we had to solve. It was on January 31st, 1948, that Mahatma Gandhi was shot dead. So, after Kasturiba died in 1944, February 22nd, Gandhiji had to be looked upon by his niece, cousin's daughter-in-law, and they were Manu and Abba. These two girls, these two women were always with Gandhiji, helping him. So, Gandhiji was nearly 80 years. So, he had to have some support. And both of them were by his side wherever he went to attend him. He had these two girls, Manu and Abba, as his attenders. Even from a very small age, they were with Gandhi, and wherever he went, they went with him. And Abba and Manu were also called Gandhiji's walking sticks. So Gandhi leaned on them and walked wherever he went. So here Mahatma Gandhi tried to convince Jinnah, but it was of no use, and so Jinnah, the president of the Muslim League, had Pakistan separated. His speeches were so effective that he made the Pakistan people, the Muslims, to think of a separate state for them, separate nation for them. So previously Muslims did not want to go separate, but because of Jinnah's effective speeches, which were mostly religious, so they had to, people went to his side, and we had our separation. So, my dear children, all this played an important role in Mahatma Gandhi's health. He was day by day losing, even though they started to work, they started to discuss about the things, and finally Jinnah was the Governor General of Pakistan, who had the entire power in his hands, and Jawaharlal Nehru became the Prime Minister of India after independence. One day was the difference between our independence and Pakistan independence. So finally Pakistan was divided and independence was announced. And this East Bengal, we have West Bengal now, it is in India, but East Bengal was also declared as a Muslim thing, but the Bengalis, who were more in number, wanted, the majority people had Bengali as their mother tongue. So they fought for their, yes, they wanted their own. They did not want Pakistan to rule over them. So they were separated and they got a separate country, and that was Bangladesh. So here India is separated. The original picture of India was like this, and it was separated. The green portion went for Pakistan, and here you can see the yellow portion went away, and that was Bangladesh. And some areas where Muslims lived more was under Pakistan rule. And you can see this area where it is greenish near Bangladesh, that also belongs to Pakistan. Okay, now children, so what was the reason for the partition? See here, the Muslims and the Hindus killed each other, and heaps of dead bodies were on the streets, and so compulsorily everybody had to accept the partition. So Gandhiji had to go hunger strikes. He had to do something to stop all this, but he was not successful. So finally, on that day, the extremists, the RSS, in the RSS, they had to make chits because everybody loved Gandhiji, but they thought the Muslims want a separate country and we cannot send away all the Muslims. Why do our government, our Congress not accepting, let all the Muslims go away? Why should Muslims be here? But that was not possible if Gandhiji was alive. So the RSS people wanted to kill Mahatma. So they put chits to select a person who should go because nobody wanted to kill him. So finally they lifted the chit, and it was Nathuram Godse, a Brahmin, a Bengali Brahmin, who was selected to kill Gandhiji. And he planned, he came to Delhi, and during that time Gandhiji was living in Birla House in Delhi, where so many thousands, hundreds and thousands of people came to see Gandhiji there. And here in the picture you can see Abba and Manu sitting before Gandhiji, and this was a daily process. That is, every day evening by 5:30 Gandhiji used to have a meeting, and they used to do bhajans, and in those bhajans they used to sing Raghupati Raghava Rajaram and Vaishnava Janato. So I will give you these songs. I will send you these songs which were so very effective. But finally, while on that day, particular day, when Gandhiji was talking with Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel about the differences between Nehru and Patel, Gandhiji was, yes, he was talking to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel about the differences between them, and finally he was late on that day. So he was in a hurry to go for the, yes, meeting. So the Sabha, in the open air, so many people were sitting in the grass. So they were sitting on the grass, and the stage where Gandhi every day sits was like this. But on that day, while Gandhi walked leaning on Abba and Manu, he came to the place where the stage was. But before he could climb on the stage, Nathuram Godse, who was in the first row, stood up with a pistol and he shot Mahatma with his pistol. So, and he shot 3 shots, and Gandhi fell to the ground, taking the 3 shots with an uttering of Hey Ram. So Mahatma was uttering Hey Ram while he died. And here, children, the most loved human being, the father of our nation, Bapu, was dead, shot dead, and everybody was against this brutal act. So it was a great funeral, and the largest funeral ever seen. So, and Mahatma's, yes, Mahatma was taken to Rajghat, where he was buried and his memorial was built. Even today, whoever comes into India, any leader who comes into India will go visit in Delhi. Yes, Rajghat is the Samadhi of Mahatma Gandhi, and millions and millions of people came there to see Gandhiji's funeral. And finally, we lost our great man, father of our nation. Mahatma Gandhi was no more. And the last words uttered by Gandhi was, among the bullet shots, he was killed, assassinated by 3 bullet shots, and the words Hey Ram were uttered by Mahatma, and he was no more. From then onwards, in our country, we celebrate October 2nd as Gandhi Jayanti, and we are remembering our great leader, our country's father, who was able to gather the entire nation as one, but he was assassinated by his own people. So, my dear children, that is what we see about Mahatma. He was inspired by many stories, and he has been an inspiration to many of us, and Mahatma was an example to the entire nation for his patriotism, for his concern for the poor. So, my dear children, I end up my small contribution about Mahatma Gandhi to make you know about Mahatma Gandhi. So, my dear children, wherever you hear the bhajan, Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान. So this song you can see if you see the lyrics. So Ishwar and Allah were the same names of God, and they asked Sabko Sanmati. So he did not want people to fight. He wanted Hindu and Muslims to be bhai and bhai. Hindu Muslims should live like bhai bhai. So that was, even the songs were like this. And the other song was Vaishnava Janato Tere Kaliye Je Peed Parai Jane Re. So here Gandhi says that Vaishnava Jan, whoever the people, Hindu people, they know the pain of others. So even till today, even though China comes to fight with us, even though Pakistan comes to fight with us, we spare them because of this good nature. India did not want to fight with anyone, but when a time comes to prove themselves, they are ready for everything. But we don't want to start fights. That is the motto of India. So, my dear children, the greatness of India remains and stays there. It is so high. The heights of the honor we give to our country should always be there. The patriotism, the respect for one's country. So we are proud to be Indians. Our Indian heritage and culture is superb. So my dear children, learn all the good qualities to become future citizens of India. Be good people, be good citizens, become good future generations of India to uplift the name and fame of our country. As always, India is looked up by all the nations. Still make our country higher and higher in quality. My dear children, I end my story of Mahatma Gandhi here. So, Jai Hind, and thank you, children. And if you all like this, share this video to your friends. And if you have not subscribed, subscribe it so that you will be listening to all the stories which I upload about our great leaders, about our great kings, about the many Purana stories which will inspire you and which you will be interested in. Thank you, children. Bye. Love you all.